Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you episode 53 of my brand new Comics All series. This is a series where each and every week when I grab the new comics at my local comic shop that I'm going to be grabbing that week, I show you guys every issue I got and I tell you a little bit about every single one of the issues I picked up. So here's the stack that I got this week, 8 issues in total. I did have to leave some behind because it would have been such a big week if I got everything I wanted that week. I ended up leaving Daredevil Woman Without Fear number 2 just because I hadn't read the previous Daredevil run. That's not really necessarily something I need to be getting. The official Image Timeline one-shot looked really cool, like a history lesson on Image Comics over its 30 years now. Decided to leave that also, and I also left Dark Knights of Steel number 4, which I might go back for next week. It's going to be a smaller week. But now that we've got all of the comics I did pick up out of the bag, let's get this bag out of the way. Alright, now that that is all over with, let's get right into this week's stack. So, we always start the video off with the most anticipated issue of the week. This week, for me, that's going to go to Fantastic Four Reckoning War issue number 1. This is the Alpha issue, so this is kicking off this brand new Reckoning War event. It's going to take place in the pages of the main Fantastic Four series. So you got to read this one-shot first that kicks it all off, and then you got to read Fantastic Four issue number 40, which is coming out in a couple weeks, which is going to continue the event. So I honestly actually don't know too much about this. What we do know, though, is that this is Dan Slott's event that he's been leading up to across many different titles at Marvel Comics for about 16 or 17 years now. So it is a really big deal. You can see on the cover here we've got She-Hulk involved, we've got Jack of Hearts involved. It also has to do with Nick Fury, who has recently been the Unseen. He was the replacement for the Watcher. Now the Watcher has been resurrected. It goes deep into Marvel history, and I'm hoping that it'll be understandable. I'm probably going to be making a video going over the tie-ins that you need to get for this, all of the info we have so far based on this first issue in the next couple days. Look out for that one if you want to find out more about this event. For now, though, that's definitely my most anticipated issue of the week. We'll see how this Reckoning War event turns out to be. Alright, moving on this week from Marvel Comics, I grabbed 4 issues from them in total. We've got another Fantastic Four issue this week. This one is Fantastic Four Life Story, issue number 6 of 6, and this is covering the 2010s. So if you don't already know, the idea of these Life Story miniseries that Marvel has put out 2 of at this point is that it's like, what if these superheroes had aged in real time? So every single issue of the series, it takes place over 1 decade in the heroes' lives, and the big climax of this series actually happened last issue. It's been really good, though. All of the lead-up was for Galactus to arrive on Earth, this like kind of Earth-ending event, right, because Galactus is the devourer of worlds. So the Fantastic Four were readying themselves for that this whole time. They had accepted their fate to be destroyed because so many of their defenses had been taken down. So if you want to read this series, definitely wait for that trade paperback to come out, but I definitely recommend it. That's Fantastic Four Life Story issue number 6. Alright, next up from Marvel Comics this week, I've got The Amazing Spider-Man number 88. So I think this is selling for like 10 or 15 bucks on eBay at this point. Like I've said before for other issues, I'd say don't go crazy about this. If you're gonna sell this issue, definitely sell it now, because the hype for this character is gonna die down super quickly. We already know that this current Beyond story arc that's been going on for, I guess, this is a 14th chapter, so 14 issues now. We know it's going to end soon, and this character is probably going to go along with it. Probably not going to appear many more times in the future. Still, though, it is a pretty exciting first character appearance. If I haven't already said it, this is the first appearance of Queen Goblin, who's featured on the cover there by Arthur Adams. She's going against Ben Reilly, maybe also Peter Parker. Of course, Ben Reilly, who is Peter Parker's clone, has taken over as the brand new Spider-Man. He's hired by the Beyond Corporation. I definitely recommend Beyond so far. It's a really good Amazing Spider-Man run. I'm just sad to see that it's ending, but hopefully the new run will be pretty good after this one too. That's The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 88, the first appearance of Queen Goblin. Alright, I've got one more issue from Marvel to show you guys this week, and that's Alien number 9. It's been a really long time since we've had an issue of Alien. I think it's been 3 months now. They're finally out with the next issue of this, I believe, 6-part story arc. This is part 3 of the current arc they've got going on. This issue, though, I want to give it my award for the best cover art of the week. Mark Aspinall, if I'm pronouncing that right, has done this amazing cover. It's some sort of painted style where we see a xenomorph sitting like on top of a barn where a windmill is, and that's kind of the idea. This cover kind of encompasses what this entire story is about so far. It's basically like this planet, this alien planet that's been terraformed by humans that were working for the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. The people, of course, have been like protesting, trying to fight for their own rights to just own the planet, separate from the big corporation Weyland-Yutani that they've been working for so long. They finally achieved that, but not really, because now they're just being wiped out by the xenomorphs one by one. It's a really good series so far, and I definitely recommend it. We'll see how this issue is. That's Alien number 9. Alright, now that all of those Marvel comics are out of the way, let's hop on over to Image Comics. I grabbed just as many issues from them for this week. We'll start it off with another one here. This is the Geiger 80-page giant. This is a huge, oversized issue. Costed me $8, so not too happy about that, but I've heard there are some really great stories in this issue. It's the follow-up to the Geiger 6-issue miniseries that came out a little while ago now. They had a really big break in between Geiger and this special one-shot, but this is going to be fleshing out and introducing a whole bunch of characters in this Geiger universe. Basically, this whole timeline that they've set up, where Jeff Johns, as the writer for this entire universe, along with a whole bunch of artists, as new miniseries and new series come out, they're telling the tales of all of these different, like, unnamed American heroes throughout American history from the dawn of its existence to 2050, the far future, which is where Geiger was set. Now they're going back to, I think the next one is called Redcoat, which is like the, American Revolution, someone fighting for the British, I guess, maybe? That's what Redcoat means, right? We've also got Junkyard Joe starting, so we get previews for both of those in this issue. And I almost forgot, I want to give this issue my award for the best creative team of the week, because Jeff Johns is a very good writer. This is some of his best creator-owned work. I mean, this is all I've ever read from him. There's also artwork by Brian Hitch on this, who's been doing a pretty good job on Venom, as well as Gary Frank. So really good creative teams. There's a bunch of little mini stories with all of those, rulers of Las Vegas that were introduced in the original Geiger miniseries. We'll see how this big, oversized, spectacular issue is. That's Geiger 80-page giant number 1. Alright, next up from Image Comics this week, I've got the return of a fan favorite series. This is Nocterra number 7. So in my opinion with this series, it's just been okay. I mean, the last couple issues of that last story arc I did enjoy. There's been some issues that have been better than others. That's just my opinion though. This series basically has to do with this world where the big PM hit, which means that the entire world went dark. I think it was about 20 years in the past, and now in the present, there's this character named Val Riggs who is driving around in this truck that's completely lit up. People need to stay lit up in some way or else they turn into these monsters that attack other people, and it's a whole chain reaction. So it's very post-apocalyptic. We've seen the reveal that there actually is natural light somehow still in the world. We met the person that actually caused the big PM to happen in the first place. We'll see how it continues to be. If it is pretty bad, I'll probably drop it, but we'll see. That's Nocterra number 7. Alright, next from Image this week, I've got Crossover number 11. So same as Nocterra, this one has just been okay in my opinion, especially this last story arc. I thought it did start off really strong with the first, I think, 6 issues, which was the big, explosive, like, introduction to this. I guess it's probably an ongoing series. I don't know when they're gonna plan on ending this. We haven't had that announced yet. But now the second story arc has been a little disappointing. It has been going with some pretty interesting ideas, though. We've seen Donny Cates integrating himself into his own comic that he's writing, which is really cool. Basically, the idea is, what if every fictional comic character came into the real world? So we're seeing that world where this happened, right? And we've seen all these characters reacting to that. There's this bubble that's gone up to protect all of the heroes, but now we see that some people are trying to hunt down comic creators who created these characters that came into their world, so that when they kill the creators, all of the characters they created also die, so that way they can destroy all of the superheroes and wipe them from the world so that so that the people aren't in danger anymore. I don't know if I described that right. There's a lot that goes into this series. You definitely have to read it to understand it completely. I am excited to see how Donny Cates writes himself into the comic in this next issue, though. That's Crossover number 11. Alright, we're down to the final issue from Image Comics. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. The last one I've got here is Spawn, issue number 326. So this is a pretty good series. I would recommend it, but it's probably my least favorite, to be honest, of all the Spawn's Universe titles out right now. Gunslinger Spawn and King Spawn have set a really high bar that the rest of the titles haven't really been following. The Scorched number 1, which is supposed to be like the Spawn's Universe team comic, came out a couple weeks ago. I didn't like it that much. I'm still going to keep on getting it, but that first issue, in my opinion, wasn't a very good introduction. But with this main Spawn title, I guess my main problem with it is that it just doesn't really know like what it wants to be at this point. We've got a new writer on board who's done, I think, the last 3 issues, including this one. The art is still by Carlo Barberi, and the writing style hasn't differed that much. There's still just not very much of a direction for like this main kind of centerpiece Spawn comic. It's just kind of jumping around different narratives. We saw a focus on medieval Spawn. It looks like Spawn might be the main character in this one. I don't really know, but we'll see how this issue is. We'll see how this series progresses. That's Spawn number 326. Alright, that's every single one of the brand new issues that I picked up this week. I want to know what you guys got though. Hopefully you're able to pick up all of your issues from your local comic shop today. Which one was your favorite if you already read them, or if you haven't yet, let me know which was your most anticipated down in the comment section below. Also, if this is your first time here, if you're new to the channel, and you liked the video, or if you got some good information from it, you can hit that subscribe button down below. You can also hit the notification bell, just sitting right next to it. You'll be notified every single time I post a new video if you don't want to miss any. So that's everything from me for today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye, guys.